This project is all about contrast. Look at all the differences not only in the color, but also in some of the lines or rays that you see from this Aztec sun. I hope you have fun today working on this project, dealing with contrast, opposites. Opposites not only in color, warm versus cool, but also in the way the lines are made. Okay, so now that we have a clear idea of what we're going to be making, let's get started in those first few steps. I want you to go ahead and take a round circle onto your square piece of paper. And once you have the overall shape, you begin by drawing a profile view. That means a side view of a face. You'll notice my forehead, the nose, the lips, and the chin. Once I've got the profile view drawn, I'm going to go ahead and start making some of the facial features and deciding again how I can show contrast with my lines. So on one side, I'm making some curved or spiral or wavy types of lines to make this side my flowing, softer, or descriptive lines that might be a little bit more flowing. So that's kind of what I'm doing with not just the rays, but the eyes, the lips, and then on the second side, I'm trying to make it angular or sharp or straight. Just some things that I can show contrast with the way that I draw my lines. Again, even in my background, my lines might look like they're going around in a circle, but I'm trying to keep those lines straight. Now again, when I go on to the features of the eyes, again, trying to keep that angular. So you'll see I made some triangles or some diamonds, same thing with the mouth. So you obviously see a straight, narrow, sharp side, whereas the opposite side is more flowing, curvilinear, wavy. So I'm trying to show contrast with the lines that I make. Once you're done drawing, start taking out some warm or cool colors and decide which side you're going to do in warm and which side you're going to do in cool. So I went ahead and I picked out some different colors of yellows and oranges, pinks and reds. And as I start working on my Aztec sun, I'm thinking about beginning with a light color first. Can you also see that there's some orange as well on the outside of the face? This kind of makes your project look a little bit more 3D. So I'm trying to blend and mix my colors together so they're not so flat. I remember one artist talking to me about not using colors straight from the tube when I was painting. And so, I think about that a lot when I'm doing my artwork. So that instead of just using one color, I'm going to instead use more than one color, blending and mixing to make my objects a little bit more interesting, as well as a little bit more showing form, making things look 3D. So now I went ahead and did my face with an overall basic color of yellow. It's light, it's easy to build more colors on top of light than it would be dark. That's why I didn't start with red. Red can be so dark, and it's hard to get other colors on top of red. And so I thought if I start with my lightest colors first, my yellows and my oranges that are light, or maybe my golds, I'm coloring with a base color first, and then I'm going to go ahead and start adding on some thicker or more rich colors on top of that first color. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of pinks, a little bit of oranges, a little bit of reds, and make those curvilinear lines stand out on top of my base coat or my base color of yellow. I think that it's fun mixing and blending colors. They don't all have to just be one color. I love the way it looks when I start mixing and using my oil pastels in an interesting way to build up and blend up that rich color. It's really exciting to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and finish working on this side of my warm colored face. And as I begin working on the second side, my cool colored face, I speed it up a little bit because essentially I'm thinking the same thing. Starting with my light colors, blending and mixing with dark colors, overlapping, blending, and building up my color. I hope you enjoy watching the rest of the video. Moving into the background, you might notice that I'm moving back in with cool colors into the background. Again, I'm just trying to show more contrast between warm colored and cool colored. So if I've used my warm colors onto the face and the rays of my sun, my background is going to use cool colors. Just to make that pop. I want it to be dynamic. I want it to stand out. So I'm going back to my opposites. Warm for the sun, cool for the background. If I have a cool colored sun, I'm using a warm colored background. Again, mixing and blending my colors just so that it builds up and is interesting and fun to look at. I hope you have fun doing this project today. When you're done, get out a black. You can go ahead and make your project really stand out by defining it with black. You'll notice I didn't start with black because I didn't want the black to blend in or mix with my colors. Black is the thing that I'll do last, just to emphasize the lines and designs that I made. And hope you have fun.